You know the video is going to be interesting if I'm filming it with a different camera. Now, I'm going to mess with your brain a little bit and start to twist this camera upside down. Now you are almost rotated 180 degrees, and I promise I'm not going to edit this footage in the post-processing. You probably wonder what just happened. Well, let's start the video and I'll explain. Hey guys, this is Insta360 GO, and it's an action cam which probably makes the release of this device the worst timing ever. Everyone is in a lockdown right now and no one's shooting exciting footage or doing exciting things as far as I know, not in England. However, I'm super excited because I did actually manage to capture a cool footage using this small action cam. So in this video we're going to talk about this and why I'm super excited. If you follow this channel for a while, you know that I really like cycling, and I've used this Tommi camera previously to capture really stable footage. You can marvel at that in this video there. But it is big and clunky and quite difficult to use while cycling. This, however, is a completely different story. And if you don't believe me, let's take a look at this footage. It's probably going to convince you. I don't think I have to tell you that I did not edit this footage in any way. This is just a raw footage captured by Insta360. Now, what's really cool about this camera, apart from its size, is the fact that you can do this. Now, this is how I shot this footage, by having it clipped into a magnetic medallion, which is my favorite accessory. Now, you might be thinking, wait, what if you're gonna lose it? And that's exactly was my thinking at first. I was really worried that I'm gonna drop the camera, lose it, and I'll never find it again, and you're not going to watch this video. However, we are here, I'm talking to you, which means I didn't lose it. It turns out that due to its very small size and the weight, it's only 20 grams, it sticks quite well to the clothes, and well, after a couple of minutes I was able to enjoy myself cycling and, well, record pretty decent footage. And if you wonder how the cycling footage looks like without stabilization, there you have it. This is the raw footage from Insta360 GO. It looks terrible. I had more fun with the camera and I've created this hyperlapse of me driving to work. As you can see, it looks really cool and it showcases the capability of this camera. If you take a closer look at when I'm turning, you'll notice that the camera leans as well, which is pretty exciting effect. Next up is a torture scene. As you can see, the bitrate giving in right now, mostly because of the amount of details and particles that the processor wasn't capable of capturing, and that's why the bitrate on this video clip is so low. However, the video is still stable. Let's change the scenery a little bit and let's walk around. So you can see that the camera puts amazing work into stabilizing the footage. As soon as the stabilization is disabled, it looks horrible. But me working with a Medallion accessory is actually capable of keeping the camera steady and presenting quite decent footage. The camera is small and handy and ready to capture anything at the tap of the palm. So I decided to have a little bit of fun with the robot. As you can see, wearing the camera on your body introduces an interesting perspective and a take on the video footage, so you can see exactly what am I doing and how does it look like from my perspective. This Medallion isn't the only thing that you're going to find inside the box. It comes with a charging case, which is probably the most disappointing piece of hardware inside this box due to this. This is a lightning connector. And if you are using iPhone, you'll be just fine with this. But I use Android devices and this is absolutely useless, and I have to use this rubber piece that's been attached in there to cover it up. That makes no sense. It also comes with a USB, which is micro instead of USB Type-C. Hello. Fortunately, that's the only disappointing piece of hardware in the box, and other accessories are pretty great. There are a couple of different magnetic mounts that you can use to actually mount the camera to flat surfaces. There is a clip that you can use to put the camera on your hat or at the collar, and also a selfie stick adapter with a 1/4 inch screw, which means you can put it on tripod, etc. I would also show you a small part that is used right now in a car, but I had serious difficulties removing it from the windscreen. Let's talk more about the footage. Inside this camera you're gonna find a sensor which is 2770 by 2770. And you probably noticed that this is a square sensor. Yes, and your footage isn't square, it's 16 by 9. Which means that the software uses that extra frame size to stabilize the footage and correct for different orientation using built-in gyro. The effect is that regardless of which way the camera is facing, you're always gonna have a nice footage which is oriented the correct way. The camera is limited to 1080p and 25 frames per second, which might be a disadvantage, but if I'm gonna look at the size here, I'm totally okay with that. This is an action cam and Insta360 went all in, which means the main shooting modes are limited to 15, 30, 1 minute and 5 minutes intervals, providing you have some cooling for 5 minutes periods of shooting because the camera will get hot. At first, I thought that was a serious limitation, but if I look at the footage or action footage that I've shot in the past, it was hardly longer than a minute or two, and the most interesting moments, they were about 10 to 15 seconds anyway, and I'm completely okay with just hitting the button with my palm and not thinking about it, just enjoying the action. While the video stabilization is absolutely insane on this camera, there is one weak point. It's quite bad low light performance. As soon as the light level reaches a certain point, the footage instantly turns into a grainy mud. Granted that the light level has to be low for this to happen, and you're probably not going to be shooting any action footage at night. Apart from video, you can also take pictures, create hyperlapses and time lapses, and also set the mode into interval shooting, in which the camera will turn on every X amount of seconds or minutes and capture a couple of seconds of footage. Inside this camera you're going to find 8 GB of storage, and you're probably going to run out of storage space sooner than the battery. If you ever run out of battery, the charging case will charge this camera several times, so it will last you throughout the day, providing you offload the excess footage to your mobile phone. The primary way to interact with this camera is via mobile app. Since the device doesn't have much of a user interface, there is a vibration motor inside and the LED that changes color, you have to spend some time actually memorize the actions. Now do yourself a favor and study the tutorials presented in the app, because that will help you to understand which buttons to press. Well, there is one, but how many times you're supposed to press it, and what colors of the LED mean what. It'll help you out a lot, and for the first day I have to admit that I was confused to which options are right now triggered and whether I'm recording something or not. Speaking of the app is probably the weakest link. It contains quite weird bugs that shouldn't really be there. First of all, it has the ability to launch upside down on my phone, which really, it shouldn't be a problem, right? Another thing that annoys me is the lack of a full screen preview of your footage. You actually have to export the video first before you can watch it in a full screen. I don't know why that would be so useful. Because this connects via Bluetooth with your phone, you can't have a frame preview, which means you're not going to be able to check where your camera is pointing. Automatic connection via Bluetooth, it's spotty as well. It doesn't connect all the time, however the manual connection works okay, just fine. I should also mention that from time to time I was not able to detect the camera in a download mode. I would have to replug it a couple of times before the app actually see and this camera as a USB device. I really hope Insta360 will get on top of those bugs and get that fixed. The other options in the app are a bit barebone, but functional. You'll be able to trim the clips or apply a video effect Instagram style. And also there's a quite rich library of royalty-free music that you can use to play along your clips. Now the app has a really good section for tutorials showing you how to achieve certain effects with step-by-step instructions, so I would strongly recommend you to check it out. Lastly, in the settings you can customize the behavior, the only button that you get on Insta360 GO, so do pay attention to that and assign your favorite modes. It's gonna make your life so much easier. Despite the limitation, thanks to its size and incredible stabilization, that's gonna be my favorite camera to take with me cycling or hiking. It takes literally no space, it lasts forever thanks to the battery case, and the footage is pretty amazing considering the size of this. I would like to thank Banggood for sending me this so I could take a look, and even though that wasn't the Insta360 camera I wanted the one that has actually 360 degrees of vision, I ended up really liking this device. So if you're interested, in the description of this video you're going to find a link where you can purchase one for yourself. Okay guys, I know it's the middle of pandemic in UK and probably your country has some restrictions too, which makes it really hard to enjoy action cameras right now. But if you're planning ahead, you might get yourself a really cool deal, whether it's a Black Friday deal or Cyber Monday deal, so do check it out and let me know if that's the camera you are interested in or you would like me to look at something else. As for now guys, you know what to do if you want to get notification from my channel. The best thing you can do absolutely is to follow me on social media, that way you're always gonna be in touch and you'll get the notification whenever I post something new. As for now guys, thanks so much for watching and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, bye!